What's up, everybody? Underdog here. Want to break up all of the live stream and Call of Duty videos here today just to talk about the news of XDefiant's sunsetting. If you haven't seen it, here it is. If you have seen it, let me just get through this since I know you've probably already absorbed all there is to at this point on the news. So late yesterday, XDefiant put out a post stating that they would be sunsetting the game officially on June 3rd of 2025. And honestly, it did catch me a little bit of being surprised, and on the other end, it didn't. Kind of expected it. There's a lot of rumors about it being shut down, and of course Mark Rubin comes out and says it's not, and it's been something that's being talked about within the community that there was a possibility of that happening. So I was a little surprised because Rubin actually came out and said that we have no plans of shutting down after season 4. We haven't even launched season 3 yet. So that was a little surprising just to come to this news yesterday. But the debate and the rumors were out there. The community was talking that the player counts were really falling off a cliff since its launch. So there's something like internally wrong with the game, like people weren't playing the game. So there was two different stories basically being pushed out there. But when the closed tests went live way back in 2021, I was there. It actually got me back into wanting to create first-person shooter content, which then ended up pushing me to actually create this channel to cover all things FPS, at least the ones that I'm interested in. And my idea was when XDefiant released, I'd dive in with content on it, along with other FPS games, but it never happened. So from everything that I've read and listened to with other creators, it seems like that was the overall feeling from the game's player base. For whatever reason, players lost interest, the support waned, and thus here we are. I mean, it happened to me. I had every intention of diving in and playing this game and making content on it, but it officially launched back in 2024, and I did not make content on it for whatever reason. I think a lot of that is due, in my specific case, I actually have another channel, a main channel that covers sports content, sports gaming content, the one that I actually am making money off of. So I need to be doing that and putting more of my time investment in there. But again, even Mark Rubin himself, when shushing the rumors of its impending shutdown, said that they've done little marketing, quote, which I get where he's coming from and like the premise of what he was trying to get at, but that definitely has to be something to consider when you're not being able to sustain player counts. If you don't market your game effectively or even aggressively, you'll never win anyone new over. And you're never going to keep the players that you already have. You're trying to pry people away from Fortnite and Call of Duty, and it's just not going to be something you can pick and choose when and where you want to market to. It's got to be aggressive. It's got to be all in. And I feel like, self-admittedly from Mark Rubin, that was probably a nail in the coffin for the game. If you're not marketing your game, if you're not being aggressive, you'll never win any of those players over. Any of the players that are dissatisfied with COD, any players that are dissatisfied with Fortnite, which, there's not many of them. I don't play Fortnite. I'm not even involved in that community, so I have no idea like what the sentiment is over there. But I'm assuming that there's always got to be some unhappy people in these little pockets here with FPS. So you got to be aggressive is basically what I'm getting at. At the end, I just find the whole shutdown thing a little weird, truth be told. Like I said, on one end, I understand it. I understand the reasonings here. I understand what they're getting at with this recent post. But when Mark is coming out there just back in October saying it's not going to be shut down, we're good, and then to being shut down, it's just like you get two different stories. So that's why I'm a little surprised and I'm a little not. Because the hard data was there that the player counts were decreasing. They weren't obviously making any money off of a free-to-play concept. There weren't enough players to justify being supported, and there weren't enough players supporting the game monetarily through this free-to-play model. I mean, they even politely stated it in their release, quote, free-to-play takes time to find their footing and become profitable, which what they're saying is in that, if you unpack that, is that they weren't becoming profitable. So it's a sad day, to be honest. I didn't personally do my part in helping the game grow, that's for sure, so I feel a little bit guilty, but what is one channel with 63 subscribers going to do? Maybe I would have grown a little bit more if we were covering the game. I just think between all the closed play tests that I was a part of and then the initial launch being delayed and just everything that happened with XDefiant, to be called the Call of Duty killer that so many in the community were saying that it could be, I think it really set a really, really high expectation. And I think all of those factors led to the demise of the game. I think the free-to-play is a very tough beast to manage. I think marketing matters. So I think there's a lot of factors in the reason why that this game was not as successful as many thought it could be. But if there's any silver lining here at all, there are people passionate enough to jump into this scene and actually dedicate their time in creating a game that should be a solid shooter alternative to Call of Duty. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are about the XDefiant shutdown / sunset. I don't know if I'm going to be diving into this game any longer. I think it's just taking up hard drive space at this point now. Although I've really enjoyed playing it, so that's another dilemma here. It's funny because I'd been mostly focused on PC with XDefiant and just trying to get that up and running and going. But again, I never really dove in to make content for it. I ended up getting it on my PS5 with the intention of, like, one day here soon, actually, was to start making some content off of it, and then now it's being pulled. So knowing that it's not going to continue on and it's going to be shut down in June, I just don't feel like I should waste my time in playing the game any longer. Even though I'm having fun, I don't think I need to be putting all my hours into a game that I know is going to end. Support's going to end here soon. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are, guys. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Leave a like if you like this thing, and I'll see you around. Underdog out.